Homes that are well presented and priced correctly sell quickly. It's crucial that you know what's going to work best for you. As a consumer, it's important that you interview real estate agents before you choose one to represent you in the purchase of a home or the sale of your home. That interview process can include as few or as many agents as you would like to see and would like to meet. But I think it's imperative that you interview at least 2 real estate agents before you decide who's going to be your agent. I've prepared for you a few questions that I think it's important that you ask in the process of interviewing agents for the job of representing you. As buyers or sellers, you should want to know whether your real estate agent works full-time or part-time. There isn't a right or wrong answer here, but it's crucial that you know what's going to work best for you. So if you are working with an agent who is a part-time agent and has another job, say from 9 to 5, you just want to know that going in, because there might be ways that you need to communicate during that time, or that might be the time that's best for you to do something else. You want to work with an agent whose schedule is going to mirror and match what you need for your sale or your purchase. You might want to know, do you work with both buyers and sellers? You might ask, what is the percentage of sellers that you work with versus buyers, or vice versa, just so that you can have the information for where your agent is in the market. So for example, for my business personally, we're pretty much a 50-50 split. We work with about half buyers and about half sellers, and we have been that way for years. Have you helped buyers or have you helped sellers at this price range? Have you helped buyers or sellers in this neighborhood or in this area? You just want to get a feel for whether your agent is representing what you're looking for personally. So if you're a buyer shopping for a $200,000 home in a pretty specific area of zip codes, maybe you want to know if your agent has worked with other buyers buying homes in that neighborhood. And particularly if you're a seller, you might be very interested to know whether or not your agent has sold another home in your neighborhood. That's just experience. You should ask, will I be working with just you as an individual, or is there a team behind what you do? And again, there isn't a right or wrong answer here. There are great agents who work as individuals and great agents who work as part of a team. Who will I be communicating with throughout this process? Is there an administrative team? In a way, every real estate agent works as part of a team, because there could be a mortgage team that's part of the conversation. There can be the title company that is organizing the transaction. And so you really want to make sure that you know and are connected to everyone that's going to be part of your process from start to finish. So if there's a real estate team behind your agent, get to know their names and their roles in the process. Next, you should ask if they can provide references. Maybe you want to be connected with a previous seller or a previous buyer who has worked with them. You might also be interested to talk with a real estate agent who has done what we call a cross sale with them. So there's the listing agent and then the buyer's agent on the other side of that transaction, and maybe that would be an interesting person to get a reference from. One of the most important questions you can ask is, why should I work with you? And this is what's going to set each individual agent apart from the others that you're interviewing. Why should I work with you is going to give you a response from that agent that they have set themselves apart from the rest of the pack, from the other agents that you're interviewing, from the other agents in the market. And it's crucial that you get to know this person as the individual that they are, so that you can see if they're the type of person that's going to cooperate and make the transaction as easy as possible for you. This is the agent's value proposition to you. Up next, I've got a few questions that really tailor more to selling your home rather than buying your home. And the process of selling your home, you are so much more involved with your agent, because you are relying on your agent to sort of to lay the groundwork, to set the rules for how this is going to go. So you might ask, how did you arrive at this suggested list price? And this is one of the most crucial questions that you can ask. You want to know where their data comes from. This agent that comes through your door should want to tour your home extensively. They are going to ask a lot of questions. They're going to ask things that might feel intrusive or personal or weird, or you don't even know why they're bringing that up. But the fact of the matter is, we're researchers. We're researching your house, this neighborhood, the past 6 months, the past 12 months of real estate sales that have happened here, and how do you fit into that picture? And researching all of that is part of your price. Because see, when we look at price, we look at competition. We look at not only what has sold in the market, but what is currently available in the market. You want to be comparable to the other homes in your neighborhood that have sold, but you also want to be competitive in the market where it is today. And so looking at pricing is one of the most important jobs that a real estate agent can provide to you as a client. In what percentage of your listings have you also represented the buyer? This is a really crucial question because real estate agents can represent both sides of a transaction. They can represent the seller and they can represent the buyer. However, you want to make sure that your real estate agent has your best interests at heart above all else. That's what's most important. So if your real estate agent is also open to the idea of representing buyers on their listings, while that can work sometimes, it's also maybe a red flag that you want to look out for, because a real estate agent is still at the end of the day a human being. And in that human being's mind, it's difficult to keep information separate, to negotiate on behalf of one party and another party simultaneously. How will you market my home? Marketing is a huge part of selling your home, and you need to know what your agent's plan looks like. Everything from where the property will be listed and marketed to what the open house strategy looks like. There are plenty of agents out there whose plan is to stick a sign in the yard and see what happens. So make sure that your agent has a fully laid out plan for what your marketing is going to look like from day one until the house is sold. One of the big questions we get is, what are my costs? Every seller needs to know going in exactly what is going to be expected of them financially. Your agent should be able to provide you with what's called a net sheet. That's the net to you, the seller, after the transaction is closed. That's going to include things like your property taxes, the deed transfer tax, the commissions to the real estate agents involved, attorney's fees, even if you're willing to provide it, the balance paid on your mortgage. And you're going to take all of those things and deduct them out of your sale price. That way you can determine the exact amount of the check that you will take away from closing. You want to ask your real estate agent how many of your listings sell. And notice I didn't necessarily say how many listings have you had. Great agents can have a lot of listings that don't sell, and great agents can have a few number of listings, right? But you're really curious about what is the percentage of your listings that do sell? Because like I said, there are agents out there who are just about sticking that sign in the yard. That sign in the yard is advertising for them. Buyers drive by, they call, and they're in the game of collecting those buyers to work with them. You want to know that they are in it from the beginning with you and getting your property sold. So you're looking for an agent with a high percentage of sold listings. This means that you are all the more likely to get to the closing table. What if I need to cancel our contract? Life happens, things change. Have a conversation with your agent up front about what their expectations and guidelines are for canceling in the middle of an agreement. Listing agreements can be any duration of time. They can be 30 days or they can be 365 days. The idea is that if something happens and you need to withdraw your home from the market, what is that going to look like from you? That's a great question to get the answer to up front. What is your average number of days on market? Especially here, if you're interviewing multiple agents, the average number of days on market for their own listings is an indicator of how well they're pricing the home in the first place, and also how well they're advising their client to stage that property and have it ready for sale. Homes that are well presented and priced correctly sell quickly. And so if your agent is not selling homes quickly, they might not be doing the best job of pricing them, or they might not be setting them up for success with the staging and presentation of the home. So those are the kinds of questions that you want to ask your real estate agent as you are interviewing them. I think it's crucial that you interview more than one agent. The first agent you talk to might not be the best fit for you. And agents are pushy. I know, I'm one of them. And it's okay to say no to signing right there on the spot. It's okay to say, I'm going to talk to a few other people. That's your right as the consumer, and real estate agents just have to get over it.